incarcerated individuals' use of institutional telephones constitutes consent, and your calls may be provided to law enforcement agencies. Thank you for using Securus.
Welcome, folks. It's Friday night, and it's time for the Grand Jury. The live stream does a grand jury game show style. Each Friday, we take 5 volunteers from the social media platform X to review use of force videos through the lens of a grand jury. You know what? With that, let's meet tonight's grand jury. Who do we have volunteering from the social media platform X tonight? We've got a couple of repeats in here, but let's go to Moon Goddess. Moon Goddess, welcome to the grand jury. Thank you for volunteering. What would you like for the whole world to know about Moon Goddess?
Just average American woman, living life as best as I can. But no, hi everybody.
Good to have you, and thank you, Moon Goddess, for spending your Friday evening with us. Now, our next one is she's just a basic beach off of X. Now, there's a backstory here. She has been slated to be a grand jury member no less than 2 other times. And each time there was catastrophic events that prevented her from being here. So we're happy the Lord has allowed Basic Beach to be on the grand jury tonight and spend Friday night with us. But Basic, what do people need to know about you?
Well, yes, I made it through all the trials and tribulations to get here. I wouldn't have it any other way. Pretty much what you see is what you get. I'm loudmouth, I'm opinionated, but I do it under sunshine and palm trees in Florida.
And folks, if you see her in a space, you might stick around. You'll hear some interesting things. And if she's hosting or co-hosting, it's definitely worth stopping in. That's how I was introduced to Basic. But she's got some great takes. And if not that, she's pretty funny. Let's go to Choose Liberty. Now, Choose Liberty, I don't know a lot about. He was a suggestion from our last week's juror, who is also a juror this week, Tyler. But Choose Liberty, tell folks about yourself. How do we get to know you?
I am Midwest born and bred, and I'm ready to administer some justice.
We're going to get to that for sure. And then we've got Tyler J. Beasley. Now, folks, he was on here last week. We've had 2 cancellations at the last minute, so we're struggling to put our 5 together. I know I don't like them repeating, and I really don't like them repeating 2 weeks in a row. But we do have if somebody's going to repeat, it might as well be Tyler. Tyler, you want to refresh people's memory and anybody that didn't see us last week about who you are?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me, and I appreciate the opportunity to be here on such short notice, both bringing myself and Choose to the table. Absolutely love doing this, and I would come every week if I absolutely could. Just a 22-year-old Florida boy who is, as you put it last week, get up off your ass and do shit kind of guy. So I am here to administer some justice, and I am looking forward to the show tonight, and I will be in the whole after space unlike last week.
Very good, very good. And then we have Doc J. Doc J out of Oregon. Doc's been on the show before. He's also standing in at the last minute, which, by the way, you two couldn't do it without you. Very much appreciate you stepping up at literally just the last minute. But Doc, what do you want to put out about yourself?
Oh, as little as possible. I'm living behind enemy lines in communist-occupied Oregon, so the less they know, the better. Guitar player, ex-Navy corpsman.
Very well. I want to throw out a programming note to our folks that are on Patreon. I owed you a sneak peek of tonight. It is still, I've got the death circle on it. I'm not sure what happened, but I promise you I had it loaded up, but it hasn't posted yet. I'll get that fixed, and it's all the videos for you, those who don't know. I put all the videos together in a single run, so you don't have to get through. If you just want to watch the videos that we have tonight, join our Patreon group, and I put that out every Friday, normally before the show. You're going to have to get it late this time. But let's get back to our show. So, folks, those are our jurors. They volunteered to spend a Friday night with us, watch police use of force videos, and give us their time and opinion. We also have a court clerk tonight. That's Big Ron. Actually, it's every Friday night. It's Big Ron, a retired Navy veteran. Spent a little time on some flight decks and I think 20 some odd years in the U.S. Navy. But Ron, don't let me talk about yourself. Talk about yourself.
Well, I can't. Not really much left to say, Joe. 20 years in the Navy, spent a lot of time on the flight deck. I miss the smell of cat steam and jets going off the pointy end. But with that being said, we've all got to retire at some point. We've got all the videos loaded. The jurors are in their seats. We've got all the people in the out there in the Twitter and YouTube spaces. Everything looks good tonight. I want to welcome everybody to the show. Thank you for those that jumped in at the last minute. Looks like everything's ready to go, Joe.
I do appreciate you, Big Ron. And as any good trial or any good trying of facts, you have expert witnesses. Our expert witnesses this Friday, and be honest with you, every Friday, Jason hasn't missed one. Jason is a retired 30-year veteran out of Minnesota law enforcement. He's also the developer of the 3D response school safety system. Jason, real quick, I think I've talked about you. You've got a varied law enforcement career, and you've also spent more than 10 years developing this school safety system. In a nutshell, what do people need to know about you besides that?
And enjoying not being in law enforcement. I retired last June, but ranged from patrol to sergeant, undercover narcotics, school resource officer, investigations, street crimes, mental health unit, lieutenant. Kind of did the gauntlet in it, but should be fun tonight.
And we do appreciate you, brother, spending the time with us on Friday night. Now that we've patted everyone on the back and we've gone over pleasantries, let's get down to the process. Let's go over the rules. And by definition, a grand jury is unlike a trial jury. And unlike a trial jury, a grand jury may ask questions. A regular jury that you see on television or a criminal trial jury, they can't ask questions. They have to wait to the end to deliberate. You'll hear the judge tell them that. Don't talk about this to anybody. Don't talk about it amongst yourself. You may take notes, but wait until you've been released for deliberations to have any discussion about the evidence that you've heard. Unlike that, in a grand jury, you can. So you're able to ask questions. If you want to see the video again, I encourage this, at least key points of the videos that we'll be presenting tonight. I encourage you to go back and look at them again. Sometimes you don't know what you didn't see. It's really good to go back and look at those again. We ask that this jury decide a little differently than a trial jury. Trial jury, they want you to be beyond a reasonable doubt. You lay your head down on the pillow at night, you'll sleep well because you made a decision at the level it was beyond any reasonable doubt in your mind. We're asking you to do something a little bit different. One, we're asking you to decide using the reasonable person standard to determine if the probable cause to believe, if there's probable cause to believe that the force was used or justified or not. A jurist in a grand jury, it's like any jury, should be objective and review only evidence that's been presented. Don't bring in. I saw this on television. I read something about it on Facebook. I read something about it on X. And we're asking that you don't bring this in. You make your decision off the evidence that's presented to you in the grand jury. And tonight, it's going to be video evidence. We ask that you be the reasonable person, or you decide using the reasonable person standard, which is, by the way, it's not a specific individual. It's a hypothetical construct. An average person who acts with ordinary prudence and common sense and care. It's not the smartest guy in the room. It's not the dumbest guy in the room. When we look at these, we're not wanting, no one thinks of you when your name, how a jury selected, when your name's pulled out of a barrel at random and they select you. They just want you to be an average person. They're not there to decide how intelligent you are, how much expertise you may have in the different various aspects and disciplines you may be shown as far as evidence. You're not there as an expert jurist. You're there as a jury of peers. So we ask that you look at things through the reasonable person lens, and that it, once again, is not a specific individual. It's a hypothetical construct, an average person who acts with ordinary prudence, common sense, and care. That's all we're looking for when you look at these videos. We don't ask that you be beyond a reasonable doubt. Like I said earlier, lay your head on the pillow, you'll sleep well. We ask that you just be the probable cause, which really just simply means more likely than not a crime has occurred, and more likely than not the accused is responsible. We're not asking you to decide anyone's guilt, condemnation, or any convictions out of this. What you do as a grand jury, which is extremely important to a free society, Americans, is you're telling the government, we believe that you have enough evidence, that you presented enough evidence to make a reasonable person believe that more likely than not, a crime has occurred, and more likely than not, the person you said did it has something to do with it. We're not saying they're guilty or not. You're allowing the government to continue on with prosecution and really put that boot on the citizen's neck, because that's what happens next with formal charges. The rules of the game are quite simple. Vote your conscience through the reasonable person lens to the level of probable cause. 3 out of 5 votes wins the day. It's a majority decision on a grand jury. It's not a unanimous decision like you have on a criminal trial. Okay, and a jury may have 1 or 2 findings. True bill, or you could say indictment, they're one and the same. A true bill, which is formal charges to send the offense to trial, or a no bill, which is no formal charges. The case ends there at the grand jury. They will be the final say on that. They're telling the government you may not proceed going forward because you didn't present enough evidence to make a reasonable person believe that more likely than not a crime has occurred. And I want to add another part to this. We're going to be looking at we're essentially asking you, did you think the force was reasonable or not? That's all we're asking. Police procedures, I don't know that anybody's on the panel outside of Google and movies that would even be knowledgeable enough to really talk about police procedures. We do have an expert witness that can speak to that if this situation comes up or the question arises. When it comes to using deadly force, you as a citizen and the police officers on the street can use it for the same reasons: to defend yourself from unlawful, deadly force being used against you, which is described as any force that could cause your death or serious bodily injury. In other words, even break your finger can be considered serious bodily injury. It's protracted loss of a bodily function for a protracted time. It's protracted length of loss of a bodily function. And that's considered serious bodily injury. So you can use deadly force to stop anyone doing that to you. Now, the standard is a reasonable person. What a reasonable person would have believed when they saw when presented with the evidence that the officer or the person who uses the force had at the time or should have known at the time. This is why we play the dispatch. We listen to the dispatch call. What did the officer know? What was going through his mind when he's driving to the call? All this comes into play because that's what we're asking you to do. I didn't want to overcomplicate it, but I want to make sure that we understand that we're looking for the reasonable use of force. Was it reasonable or not? And we're asking you to look at it through the reasonable person's lens and not from your personal experiences or any knowledge you may have gained in any other manner. All right, with that, do we have any questions?
No questions here.
Good to go.
Well, Big Ron, let's go to case number 1.
Case number 1.
Oh. 911. Yeah, just an emergency. Hello?
There is a car passing by shooting.
What address are you at? Description of the vehicle?
It's on Modesto, California.
No. Do you see the description of the vehicle?
No, my granddaughter said that she seen a red car, you said, Mama girl? She could see the car come by. They were outside, and her friend was with her, and the car was following her.
So they drove by and shot at your house?
I just heard a gunshot. That's all I heard.
Do you know what direction they went?
He went towards... Which way did they go? Towards Hatch.
How long ago was this?
Like 3 minutes ago. What color? Get in, you guys, because if they come by. A black guy? A black Acura. Asian.
Okay, was it a black Acura?
What color is the car? A black Acura. TLX.
Do you know where they were shooting, like at a house, or just shooting in the area?
Which way were they shooting, you guys? She doesn't know. They just heard gunshots.
And they saw the vehicle itself?
Yeah.
Do you guys happen to know, did you see the license plate on the vehicle?
Hold on. Let me ask the girl. Did you guys see a license plate? No. You know the guy?
They were just shooting in the
Who
area.
is it? She knows the guy.
Okay, so who is it?
Who is it? That's right. It's a
Correct. Okay, what's his name?
Yeah. What's the guy's name? Jaden.
What is it?
Jaden.
Jaden?
Jaden. Is that how you spell it? Yeah.
What's his last name?
Do you know his last name? No.
Do you guys have a phone number for him?
No. Oh, wait a minute. Do you have a phone number for him? Sit down. Sit down. He's passing by again. Tell Moses to come through the back door.
Okay, what direction is he going now?
No, my son's going out to the back door
No.
to call my other son.
Okay, he needs to stay inside. What direction is the vehicle going right now?
He went the opposite way, away from the hatch.
Can you guys get into the house? Like, can everyone just stay in the house?
Yeah, we're all in the house now.
Okay, does anyone know his last name?
Does anybody know his last name? Huh? No.
Anyone have his phone number? Whose boyfriend is it?
My granddaughter's friend.
She there?
Yeah, hold on. I'll let
Okay.
you talk to him.
Thank you.
Hello?
Okay, what's your boyfriend's last name?
I don't know the last name. I just know the first name.
What's his phone number?
He doesn't have a phone number. He calls me from like no caller ID because he like switches numbers back and forth.
Why is he there? Do you know?
No, I'm not sure.
Is that him? Is someone knocking on the door? Is someone knocking on the door?
Nobody's knocking on the door. I think he's shooting.
All right, just keep me on the line. Can you guys all get down on the ground?
Yeah.
You'll have audio in and out because of buffering. I can explain that before you guys deliberate.
Echo point. Nine. Vanessa Beach, one shots fired. Shots fired.
Oh, yeah, Charlotte, 1033.
Nine. Hey, stop! 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 Vanessa Beach, one shots fired. Shots fired.
Oh, yeah, Charlotte, 1033.
Vanessa Beach, one, the vehicle took off southbound Boulder. Is about to make a eastbound on hatch. Fuck. Affirm.
Drones and the Stanislaus County Sheriff's Air Support Unit were deployed to assist with this search. At approximately 1:35 a.m., the Sheriff's Air Unit located Mr. Singh hiding in the bushes in the highway median.
Modesto Police Department, hands up!
You guys ready? Everybody ready?
Yep, red.
Okay. Stop right here. Okay. Yeah, let me see your hands up. Both hands up. Let me see your hand. Let me see your other hand. Other hand, your left hand. Okay. Jump. Get over the center divide. Hop over to the other side.
You want me to yell at him, Mesa? Hey, what I need you to do is get onto this side of the road. Keep your hands up in the air. Do it now.
Okay. You ready? You know hands on?
Yes.
You want me to go too, Mason? Yeah, come on. Okay. Keep your hands up.
Hold on, G.
Come towards us. Hop over. Hop over.
Hop over that railing.
I'm with you. Okay.
All right, are we going to drag him on this side?
Yeah.
Copy that.
Yeah.
Keep your hands up. Do not move.
Turn around.
Turn around.
Just grab him and bring him over. Grab him and bring him over. Grab him and bring him over.
Put your hands behind your back. Hands behind your back.
I can't feel my left arm.
Only one, right?
Med kit. Med kit.
Yeah, he's bleeding pretty bad.
Yep. I'll grab it. First aid kit.
Whoa.
What's your name, bud?
Eddie.
Excuse me? You ready to search?
No. Hey, do a quick search on him, and then I'm gonna start stripping him.
Jaden, what's your last name?
S-I-N-G.
S-I-N-G. Where you her at?
My left arm.
Your left arm?
I can't feel my left arm.
Okay, folks, that's your first case of the night. You heard the 911 call. The reporting person said that there were shots fired by this vehicle. Described the vehicle, I thought, pretty well. The officer responded. You see the officer's response. He responds to the call, almost drives by it, realizes there's somebody sitting in the car that matches the description, puts the light on him, and there's someone in the car. He doesn't know. He just knows that this person matches a description. So he gets out to make contact, and the vehicle attempts to drive away. And he shoots into the car as the car drives away. Kind of asking you, would the officer have reasonable fear that his life was in danger by being struck with the vehicle on that? As part of that, any portion of this video that we'd like to see, folks, this is the examination phase. This is where you can ask
Yes, sir. I would like to see the 911 call again, and then I would like to see right when the officer enters the scene, if possible. Thank you.
You want to hear the entire 911 call?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
There is a car passing by shooting.
What address are you at? Description of the vehicle?
It's on Modesto, California.
No. Do you see the description of the vehicle?
No, my granddaughter said that she seen a red car, you said, Mama girl? She could see the car come by. They were outside, and her friend was with her, and the car was following her.
So they drove by and shot at your house?
I just heard a gunshot. That's all I heard.
Do you know what direction he went?
He went towards, which way did they go? Towards Hatch.
How long ago was this?
Like 3 minutes ago. What color? Get in, you guys, because if they come by. A black guy? A black Acura. Asian.
Okay, was it a black Acura?
What color is the car? A black Acura. TLX.
Do you know where they were shooting? Like at a house, or just shooting in the area?
Which way were they shooting, you guys? She doesn't know. They just heard gunshots.
And they saw the vehicle itself?
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's about as far as it got. The rest of it's going to be the 911 dispatch trying to sort it out. You got
I got the end of that. Can we see right where the officer enters the scene again?
You want the body cam or do you want the cop car footage?
I want right where he's at. He knows what I'm talking about. Right when the cop enters the scene and right before the cop shoots the vehicle.
Echo point. Vanessa Beach, one shots fired, shots fired.
Oh, yeah, Charlotte, 1033.
Okay, I have a question.
Go for your question.
Who made the first shot? The guy in the car or the cop?
The person in the car did not shoot. Well, it was reported that the person in a car matching this description, and actually a person matching this description, was shooting. That's what the call said. But hang on, they did not shoot at this incident. It was just the vehicle driving towards the officer. The officer shot, but the suspect or the person who got shot did not shoot in this sequence.
Okay, that's what I needed to know.
Okay,
Let's go play the rest of it quick.
Yeah. If you could play the rest of that, because why?
Hey, stop! Vanessa Beach, one shots fired, shots fired.
Oh, yeah, Charlotte, 1033.
Vanessa Beach, the vehicle took off southbound Boulder. It's about to make a eastbound on Hatch.
Can you actually hit the officer?
I think it's pretty cut and dry.
Well, we're not into deliberations yet. Do you have any more questions?
Oh,
yeah,
sorry.
Can you actually hit the officer with the car?
The officer was treated for an injury to his knee.
Okay, so he did actually hit him with the car.
I have one question real quick. Was there ever a weapon recovered from the subject?
No.
Here's another question. How long, because it says 1/10/14, how long from when this happened on the body cam to when they found him?
Good question. Choose Liberty. Approximately an hour had elapsed. The vehicle had fled the scene, as you saw here. There was a search look for that vehicle. They brought out some air assets and drones. And I think they located his car wrecked out, and they found him in the side of the road hiding under some bushes. And then that's where the video picks up again, is when a SWAT team approached in a armored vehicle and called him out, and he was taken into custody.
Now, I got a question for Jason on police procedure. Jason, is it standard police procedure to shoot into a car like that if an officer feels like he's about to be injured by the vehicle?
You can't answer that, Jason. That's literally the crux of what we're going to ask them to answer. I appreciate the question, and I'm sorry, Jason, but if Jason answers that, he'll spoil your jury. Because whatever Jason says, most of you are going to go with. But that's the question that we're asking you. Do you think it's reasonable that the officer fired into the car using the standard that I've given you? Both with the probable cause and the reasonable person, and also add that when he used deadly force against the subject, this officer did. When he shot his gun, it's deadly force. Whether he hits someone or not, it's deadly force. So he used deadly force. We're asking you to say, was that reasonable? Would a reasonable person, a reasonable officer in that situation believe that he was in danger of being seriously injured, serious bodily injury, or death? Could the car have been used as a weapon in this instance? Is what we're asking you. So I can't let Jason ask that question.
Okay, the last question I have is at what point did he first draw his gun? Because it seems he had already had his gun drawn before the subject had even he had his gun drawn before the subject had even turned on the vehicle.
Would you think it's reasonable if the officer responds to a call with a vehicle matching this description, person sitting in the passenger driver's seat matching the description of a person who's did essentially a drive-by shooting?
I would, considering there's also, while they were on the phone, he circled back to pass the house. So there's a reasonable suspicion that this person was determined to possibly do more harm.
I believe also.
Are we in deliberation now?
It sounds like it. Is that? I have no answer for your question on that last one. When he drew, I can show you the video again.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask too. See it from when the cop first shows up.
I go point. Nine.
Stop.
Vanessa, be throwing shots
Come back a
fired.
little bit further, Joe.
All units, roll in 1033.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah, see, he has his gun drawn here.
Yeah, he would have to have his gun drawn there to use it.
Now, you said that the audio cuts out every now and then. When he approached and he was getting out of his car, did he address the individual first?
There was. And the way these cameras work, I don't know what he said. Actually, it's probably what you hear on the body cameras is probably 99% of what he said, because there is a slight delay on the body camera. The way these cameras are designed is that you don't know when you need to turn it on, and it doesn't run all the time. So when it does trigger, with an event triggers it, it goes back in some places a minute and a half, some places 2 minutes. And it's essentially always recording, but it has the capability of time stamping and saving the previous minute and a half or 2 minutes. So that's why you have video with no audio. Think about it. He didn't know he was going to run into the car when he pulled onto the street when the camera come on. It wasn't until he got there and he triggered it by realizing he's about to make a contact. That's when he triggers the camera in the car. Actually, I don't even think he triggered the camera in the car. I think it did it when he got out with the body-worn camera, because the audio never seemed to kick in on the dash. But it's a built-in design to be able to capture. So an officer can't say, I'm about to do something that I want you to see and turn it on. I'm about to do something I don't want you to see and turn it off. You're going to have to plan 2 minutes in there, and it's very difficult to try to manipulate the system that way.
I have a question. Now, when he first got out, it sounded like there was one shot and then a pause and then the shots afterwards.
I can play it for you again.
Shots fired. I go point. Nine.
And that very first shot was the officer, right?
All the shots were the officer. The guy in the car did not shoot at the officer. He drove at the officer. Okay, let's get a clock up. Let's go to deliberations. All right, folks, you got 10 minutes. We'll go around the room. You know what? I want to get Tyler. I want to get your initial opinion on this. Where do you see it, real quick?
So the way I see it, I do believe the officer had a reasonable suspicion to fear for his life. He was almost ran over and was treated for injuries later on. So I believe in that moment, the car did speed pretty fast toward the officer. He was justified in using the force, in my opinion. No bill for me, Joe.
Okay.
I'm on the fence. I'm not sure.
Well, if you're not sure, I'm going to hold up on you. Let's listen to what these other folks have to say, see if they can sway you. Let's go to Basic Beach. Basic, first time giving us your opinion on the grand jury. I've been looking forward to this. What do you think?
Yeah, I think based on the 911 call and the accurate description and the fact that he circled back around, it definitely gave them a reasonable suspicion that he's going to be armed, that he was determined to do something if he circled back again. And then because the car matched the description, he had every right, obviously, to come out and investigate. And the fact that he was hiding also adds a level of suspicion and also, caution for the officer. and the fact that he accelerated towards, clearly he had no care or concern for the safety of the officer. So the officer did respond appropriately because, you know, yes, a gun is deadly force, but so is a vehicle. And the fact that he hid just because he didn't have a gun on him at the time, like you said, there was an hour. So there's an hour that he could have tossed the gun and kind of gone away, but they did say he was injured. So that could also match any injuries that were inflicted upon him while he was fleeing. I would say no bill.
Sounds like you're at a probable cause level for sure. Choose Liberty. What do you think, sir?
Yeah, I think it's stacking up not great for this guy. I did have one, I know we're out of the question phase, but I did have one question I thought of. Were there any bullet holes in the house?
It's unknown.
No.
And
Unknown? Okay.
Yeah, I don't have that information, but quite frankly, I didn't do the research on it that deep.
Okay.
Really just looking at the use of force that we saw in the video.
Yeah, as far as that's concerned, black Acura, that matched. Reasonable suspicion that this was following the granddaughter based on the call. Heard gunshots. Obviously, that causes the police officer to be cautious, and that's why he pulled his gun immediately when he hopped out of the car. Because if they had a gun, you know, he's got to be ready. And I think the most damning evidence is that you can see in the video, he turned his wheels toward the officer. So he might have been, if I remember right, parked behind a car, but still, he still turned toward the officer and he gunned it. So using a car as a weapon, you can run somebody over and kill them. I think that's pretty damning evidence.
Yeah. If somebody runs you over and kills you, you're just as dead as you were killed with something else. Doc, do you have a different view on this, or?
No. This is pretty clear. No bill. A car is just as deadly as a gun, if not more so.
Very well. Now, Moon Goddess, you don't see it so clear cut. Where are you at right now?
I'm leaning towards no bill, but my only thing that's holding me up is the fact that when he first got out, it sounded like to me there was like one shot, and then the guy pulled out and ran, tried to run him over, and then he shot again. And I'm just wondering, that one shot in the very beginning, why the officer shot at him to begin with. I'm not seeing that, why he did.
I think that was an artifact of the video. I don't think that was actually like a separate shot.
You don't think so? See, I'm not sure. That's why I'm just kind of like on the fence here. But
how much time do you think it was from the first shot to the last shot? How much time do you think had elapsed?
Not long, like a second or two.
So where's the lag time? That's such a. I mean, it could. If there's a break in there, could it not be attributed to maybe he was looking for his aim, maneuvering it, maybe try to get out of the way of the vehicle?
Also, too, you might have.
It just seems like when he first got out, before there's any audio or anything, it's like he got out and he shot first at the car.
It could be when the audio clipped too. It might be. I couldn't tell if the car was already running.
Hang on, let's look at it again, because that could be that's a critical.
Oh yeah, no, it's 1033.
Hey, stop!
See, right when that audio first comes on, it sounds like that's a gunshot.
No, you heard all the gunfire was apparent.
Yeah,
Right,
it was one burst.
If you,
it was one run. Right when the audio came on, the only thing you hear is, "Hey, stop!" And the guy tried to gun it and off him. My vote stands no bill.
He's also going for his radio. The officer's talking on the radio, so you could be hearing some. There's a sound depending on what type of hand mic you've got. If he's using a hand mic, that'll make a sound that you could be interpreting as maybe a gunshot. But the gunfire on this were very apparent. You know when they were. If there wasn't anything as the video was transitioning.
I did notice
if that's
too
the case,
that
then no bill. Yeah, if that's the case, then no bill. It just sounded like right when he got out of the car, right when the audio kicked on, it sounded like there was a gunshot to me.
To me, it sounded like the vehicle starting up, because when you see right before the audio cuts in, his headlights turn on, and it sounded to me like he revved up his car.
The reason I asked too is because I have single-sided deafness, so it's really hard for me to distinguish.
Well, you've also got eyes. You see his firearm. Did you see his firearm action?
It went too fast. It's just too fast for me to see. That's why I'm asking.
Okay. No, but I'm telling you, with no doubt, no gunfire happened until after the video had completely transitioned and you heard each individual shot, which was almost a burst. That's why when you were talking about the delay, I was confused. I didn't really notice a delay.
Right. Okay. All right.
So with that, are you satisfied now for a no bill?
No bill.
Big Ron, I think we have a decision. Brother, yeah, you got to take that. There we go. No bill, no formal charges. That's on our first case. Before we get to our next case, I want to do something, and let's talk about the Drax's Pit real quick. Big Ron, do we have a video on that? The Drax Pit promo?
Let's take a look at the Drax Pit.
As liberals go crazy and throw their fits, come on down to Drax's Pit. Yeah, it's Drax's Pit.
X marks the spot. Can we get the formal charges down there? There we go. With Drax's Pit, folks, X marks the spot. It's a great live stream on Saturday night. I'm commonly there making comments, and but he has great guests. It's kind of a cool place to be on Saturday nights. Recommended Drax's Pit. If you're not following Drax on X, that's also another good, solid follow and entertaining guy. With that, I don't know which way to go with this. I want to go with the one labeled case number 1. Can you see that one, Big Ron?
I do.
Next case.
What is going on here?
My uncle is having a crazy moment.
He's what?
He choked me. He has 2 knives.
Okay. 2 knives. Okay. Is he diagnosed with anything? Man.
I know. I know.
Is he intoxicated?
No, I don't think so.
Are they kitchen knives, butcher knives? What are they?
I don't know what kind of knives they are.
Are they large or small?
They're medium.
Okay. Are they in his hand right now?
What's that?
Does he have the knives in his hand right now?
Yes.
We're en route. I'm trying to get details so deputies know what they're walking into. What is he doing right now? Ma'am. Okay, who's screaming in the background? What's going on?
It's my aunt. She has his hand in her hand.
Okay, are you able to get into a different room, or where are you?
No, I can't.
Okay, is he blocking a doorway?
Yes.
Are you in the kitchen? Are you in the living room? Where are you?
We're in the back in the room.
You're in a bedroom? Is he standing in the doorway? Okay. Is the door unlocked? Are the knives still in his hand? What's he doing with it? Ma'am. I cannot understand you. What is he doing? He's running towards you?
Sheriff's Department, come out with your hands up! I hear screaming. Sheriff's Department! Sheriff's Department! Hey, stop! out with your hands up. I hear screaming. Put it. Sheriff's Department! Put out the Sheriff's Department! Hey, put out, we'll make an entry! Hey, stop!
Okay, folks.
I had a really hard time hearing what the victim was saying.
They had her voice disguised. It took away from some clarity. But she was describing being attacked in a domestic violence situation with a man with a knife.
Okay, did he actually stab her?
I don't know.
Okay.
Does he have to?
Well, I just those are the questions that I had.
Okay. I don't have that question, and I don't know that it's relevant, quite frankly.
Now, is it standard? I know when they were waiting, they heard screams. That's why they breached the door. Is it standard to wait when they knock on the door when during the 911 call there was screams of distress to where there could have been a serious injury?
Oh, this is a great Jason question. He can answer this. Jason, do you want to explain what the officers did explain the whole context of the call and why they didn't wait for somebody to answer the door?
Yeah, it falls under an exigent circumstance, and if you respond to a call, and yeah, the call matters, but when you're outside the door and you hear somebody in distress, it warrants a warrantless entry. And if you articulate the fact that they heard screaming on the inside combined with the 911 call, it gives authorization for the officers to make entry.
Right. But with the screams on the 911 call, does that typically also allow for a no warning entry, or could there be like a possibility, an assumption from the officer that the situation could have moved?
No, it does not authorize it.
Okay.
That is a standalone is not enough.
I would like to.
It's got to be imminent, like right then. Is the only time that you could circumvent the Fourth Amendment.
Yeah, I would like to see the first body cam again.
Let me get to that. It was a long 911 call.
Hey, come out with your hands up! I hear screaming. Sheriff's Department! Sheriff's Department! Hey, stop! Hey, stop! Hey, stop!
Okay, I saw what I needed to.
Can you see if you can pause it right when we see the guy? Okay, go forward a couple frames.
I don't have that ability on StreamYard to do frame by frame advancement. I think what you're saying is, do you see an outline or silhouette of the knife?
Yeah, just keep going slowly.
It's right there. It's
Do you
right
see
there
it
in
right
his
there
left hand.
in his left hand? He's holding it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he had two. The other one's probably obscured at this point, but you can definitely hear it hitting the ground.
Actually, I think you can see him both of his hands. He's got them both fisted.
And I mean, the first frame that you had, he was in a charging stance. So, I mean, with that short of time and that short distance, they can't differentiate whether or not it's still in his hands or not. He's charging.
Yeah, I agree. I've got to say no bill for me.
Well, we haven't gotten to deliberations yet. Any more questions?
Nope.
Let's get a clock, Big Ron. They're deliberating anyway. Let's put them on the clock. Okay, so Moon Goddess, you're no bill. Heard you say that. You still standing on
Yeah.
it? No change?
No change. Yeah, he was charging the call. The 911 call said there was knives involved. He was attacking his wife. She was screaming when the officers got there. You could plainly hear on the body cam her screaming. Yeah, no bill, no bill.
Well, it seems like you're running down the evidence like you're trying it in a trial. What about would it be reasonable when the officer got there that he gets a call or the 911 information comes in and says that disturbance man with a knife call? Let's say that's all he gets the address, and he gets there and he comes to the door, he knocks on it, then he hears somebody screaming, kicks in the door, and the guy runs from the back with a knife in his hand towards him. Why does any of the other information matter? Wouldn't it be reasonable that anybody else in that same situation would have believed that their life was in? I'm sorry, what?
It just reiterates my thought, my original thought with no bill, because there's,
Okay.
yeah, I mean,
Well, hang on, and we're talking over each other, and that's a bad thing to do in spaces.
sorry.
It's a bad thing to do here too. Here, I guess and I'm not criticizing you. I'm just curious that it seems it takes a lot more foundation than it does maybe for other folks. It's just interesting. Let's go to Basic Beach.
Yeah, I mean, the description of the 911 call, the risk involved in general, the screams that were heard that caused them to breach the door. And I mean, they did make themselves known. They did announce him to stop. And just by his sound alone, it sounded very, very, I guess, deranged would be the best word. And even from the first frame of seeing him in that camera, he was already charging. So there was hardly any time for them to stop, assess the situation, do any kind of de-escalating tactics. I think it was a no bill. I think it was completely reasonable, depending, like, with his state of mind and the way he behaved.
Fair enough, and a good assessment. Choose liberty. How do you see it?
This one's interesting because I originally thought that this might have been a setup because of the screaming in the background. I thought maybe the aunt like killed the uncle and she was holding him in her hands and they're trying to pin it on him. But after seeing the body cam, it's pretty straightforward. Yeah, he ran at them with 2 knives.
Hang on, man. You got all this with a conspiracy and a setup and a frame up for murder with an aunt, and I didn't know if there was an aunt involved. All this off the 911 call?
Yeah, because she said the uncle, the crazy uncle, they said in the beginning. And I don't think the person who called was the aunt.
Okay, no, just curious that you gathered all that out of the 911 call.
Yeah, I was trying to listen as close as possible, even with the distorted audio. But yeah, but unfortunately, it wasn't that interesting. As interesting as my conspiracy theory, I guess. So, yeah, he charged at him with 2 knives. I mean, he showed intent to kill, basically, and the cop has to defend himself. That's pretty straightforward to me.
You feel the force was reasonable. Now, if it had been the other way, that'd been a good Lifetime movie script. We might have gone and that. Aunt frames crazy uncle with the cops killing him. That's crazy. I like it though. I like the way you think. Tyler, you have an assessment on this one?
I absolutely do, Mr. Leno. So my assessment on this is, at first, I'm glad you had brought up the fact that 911 call, her voice was disguised, because when I had first heard that distorted voice, I thought the same path as Choose Liberty, that this was a whole setup and that the person on the other end of the 911 call was some crazy person. But after seeing the video, just the entry point, the officers arrived on scene due to a 911 call. That happens no matter what. They heard screaming, they entered, and I believe the officer was in fear for his life because of the fact that the man was charging at them with a knife. So I believe the force is justified. No bill for me.
Seems reasonable, right? It sounds like we've got a verdict already, but let's go to Doc J. I don't think he's going to be a man of words on this one, but what's your vote, sir?
Well, first of all, I'd like to say that it takes some doing to break a K-bar. Snap it off at the hilt like that. Yeah, this was pretty clear cut, no bill. You can do a lot of damage with a knife in close quarters. He had 2 people barricaded in a room. I don't think there was any issue with this one at all.
Very good. I think we have ourselves a verdict. Let's post it. There we go. Another no bill. 2 cases, 2 no bills. Jason, I wanted to give you a chance to answer on the question that I nixed you from answering earlier that Tyler asked about the police procedures and the way you approach, view, or shoot into a car.
Cars are deadly weapons, and if a vehicle's coming at you, it's a 5,000-pound bullet coming at you. And his squad car was in front of him. He had limited room to move. He ended up injured, and absolutely. Somebody turns on their vehicle and runs at you, it's deadly force.
And you won't find a lot of policies or standard procedure as we talk about in movies, which doesn't exist. So you have department policies, but one department's policy may be different than the next department's policy. So there is no standard procedure. There's law, and then there's department policy. But there is no policy that says you can't defend your life in any circumstance, whether that's somebody's using a car to kill you, somebody's using a cotton candy roller to try to stab you in the eye with it. It doesn't matter what the threat to your life is. You're allowed to defend with it. So shooting into the car is not an issue in this if the circumstance is the car is being used as a weapon.
And I think the both these cases clearly indicate that one was a car, one was a knife running at you. Both of them can commit death or serious bodily injury. So that's when you're justified to protect yourself or the others around you.
It's a good point you bring up there. Does anybody have, I'll give Jason a couple of more questions before we have to get on to the next round. Does anyone have any questions for Jason on the two cases I think we've seen this evening?
No, sir.
No questions here.
Big Ron, what do you think about the Range Minded podcast?
I love the Range Minded podcast.
Well, let's show us a little bit about the Range Minded podcast, folks. Give Range Minded a follow on X and any other social media platform. He is the Range Minded podcast, and visit his website. Get some patches. Let's take a look at Range Minded.
Have you ever wondered to yourself, man, what time does the store close? Or where's the best cheeseburger near me? Well, I'm not going to answer those questions. That's what your damn phone is for. Use that. Instead, if you have stuff related, to the 2A world, I'm your man. My name's Steve. I run the Range Minded podcast. On the podcast, we talk about all things Second Amendment, whether it be new guns or gear. Maybe we talk about some training. We'll dig into Washington and the shenanigans they get up to. Sometimes we talk about the Supreme Court and the crap that they're doing. It's always a good time, a little smorgasbord of the 2A, if you don't mind me using that narrative. Either way, you can find us whether on YouTube or Rumble, Range Minded Podcast. I'm also on all sorts of streaming services, wherever you listen to your podcast, Range Minded Podcast. You can jump on the website, rangemindedpodcast.com. Maybe stop by, buy a patch and some other things. There you can link to the social medias and all that other stuff. Hope to see you there. It's always a good time. Anyways, you guys have fun, stay safe, and always stay range-minded. See you guys soon.
Yes, folks, the Range Minded podcast. By the way, he was nominated for a Gundy under the Micro Podcast division. If you go to the Gundy website, you should give him a vote. I think they're still totaling those up. But great small content provider. The guy works his butt off. He comes out consistent with his episodes, and they're always very well produced and very well put together. Wherever you run across him, give him a subscribe, like, or a follow, whichever is appropriate on the platform. And with that, Big Ron, we need to get to our next case. Yeah, this is the Utopia, San Francisco.
San Francisco 911, what's the exact location emergency?
Hi, someone is in my house. He's just leaving. He was in the yard, but I think he climbed the roof and now he's leaving.
Said he climbed onto your house?
I am inside the house, and then I hear noises upstairs, and I think he was in the roof. And I just saw him running away.
Okay. And which way is he going?
He's going towards York Street. He's wearing all black. He's not walking very fast. It seems like either he's injured or something. I don't know, but he's stumbling.
Ingleside, one car, a priority 603 Prowler. Henry 1 Adam. Subject was on top of RP's house, now being told that he left, last name going towards York. We're still waiting for a description.
19 seconds.
(911) emergency. What are you reporting?
Hey, I want to report I'm right by the Daly City, like when you're on the 101 you can take the 280 south to Daly City. So I just got on the 101. I don't know where, but some guy just jumped off of like one of the like retaining walls on the right side of the freeway.
So southbound 101 after the 280?
It's right before the 280.
Okay, cool. Okay, did he jump onto the city side or the freeway side?
No, he jumped onto the freeway side from like the retaining wall.
Okay.
And then it looked like I was looking in my rear mirror, he was trying to cross the freeway itself.
When he did jump off, did you see if he was white, black, Hispanic, or Asian? Or anything he was wearing? Okay. Right now,
Black clothes.
Black clothing? Okay.
Yeah, looked like he was running from something, honestly. It looks like he was limping when he got back up.
911 emergency, what are you reporting?
Hi, there's a guy just walking in the middle of the freeway.
Okay, what freeway, sir?
101, San Francisco 101 South, right after the exit of like Nixon, like
It looks like you just passed, when you were calling, you were just passing like Cesar Chavez?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so just after that or just before?
Just after that.
Just after, okay.
Yeah.
And was this person white, black, Hispanic, Asian?
He looked Hispanic with some hair.
Hispanic with what?
So Hispanic with long hair.
About how long?
Pretty long, like up to his shoulders,
Like,
I believe.
to his shoulders?
Yeah.
Dark hair?
Yeah, dark black hair.
And do you recall what he was wearing?
He was wearing black pants and a black hoodie, and he had a face mask on.
(911) emergency. What are you reporting?
Hi, this is not, I don't think, well, it's an emergency. We're on 101 North, and there is a guy in the middle of the freeway.
Okay, do you see a pedestrian?
Yes,
On the...
he's carrying Caesars.
Okay, northbound 101, what's the closest exit that you last saw him?
Vermont, maybe
Was it-
half a mile before Vermont.
Vermont, okay. And could you tell if they were black, white, Hispanic, or Asian?
I think it's Latin. And
Okay.
he's wearing all black, and he has a jacket, and he has long hair.
Okay. And you said he was carrying like a backpack?
Scissors.
Scissors?
Yes.
Okay. And about how long ago did you see him?
Maybe like less than a minute ago.
Okay.
You all right? Come over here. Let's get. This is cars. Let's go over here. What's that? Hey, I'm back. Hey, watch out! Watch out! Watch out! Drop it! 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 Drop it!
Come on, dude.
Paramedics on the way. What's your name?
My name is
You said 101 northbound at the Cedar Chavez on-craft. Come up the wrong way.
All right, folks, that's your case there. You had a prowler call, as they called it. A woman called in, said somebody was on their roof or attempting to get into her house. She reports that they were able to pick up, of course, they don't have this information. The video camera stuff, responding officers don't have. They'll have the verbal communications, but they wouldn't have seen the video prior to getting to the call. So we have the luxury of seeing that. The movement of this person, this suspect, we see him kind of hobbling, jumps over a fence, goes down to the highway. We hear the subsequent 911 calls where other people are reporting him as just a suspicious person, suspicious behavior, jumping off of an embankment wall into a highway, crossing a highway like that is an issue. So we had two subsequent 911 calls that guided law enforcement into where he's at. The guy, they go to make contact. He hobbles with scissors in his hands towards the officers until he's shot one time, not fatally, but definitely a critical wound in the center of his chest. Any questions or portions of the video we'd like to see again?
I have a quick question. Was there a face mask ever recovered? One witness said there was a face mask, so I'm curious about that.
No face mask, and be quiet. And I'll say again, I don't really go searching for the back end information. It hasn't anything to do with whether a reasonable person would believe that force was justified at the time it was used.
I would imagine when the force was used, it was mainly because of the positioning that he held those scissors or knife, whatever he had. It kind of looked like, yeah, he's hobbling towards them as instructed, but the position he had that hand, it wasn't looking like he was having it slack down. It looked like he wanted to keep it up for a reason.
Okay.
I'd actually like to see that part of the video again.
The actual shoot part.
Yes, sir.
You all right? Come over here. Let's get. This is cars. Let's go over here. What's that? Hey, I'm back. Hey, watch out! Watch out! Watch out! Drop it! What's that? Hey, I'm back. Hey, watch out! Watch out! Watch out! Drop it!
Yeah, it even looked like he was concealing it under his hoodie and then raised his hand.
Okay. Big Ron, let's put him up a clock. Let's deliberate. Tyler, I'm going to go to you first. What's your initial assessment of this video?
The initial, it's pretty cut and dry for me, Joe. So, officer tried to make sure guy was okay. He got called because the guy was running through yards. The guy matched the description. The officer went and approached him, and then what ended up happening is he charged at the officer with the scissors. And like we have discussed, if the officer had, in my opinion, a reasonable suspicion to fear for his life, because the guy just suddenly skipped and charged at him really, really quickly, and he actually tried to run behind the guardrail. So, in my opinion, he feared for his life. No bill for me.
So you think his actions were reasonable?
I do.
Okay. Choose Liberty. What do you think?
Choose Liberty. You're muted, sir.
Choose Liberty might be coming up with a formula of a back-end story. This could be better than the uncle frame job. Let's go to Basic Beach. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with the first part of Tyler. The officer did make the opportunity to kind of make sure he's safe, kind of trying to assess the situation. But like I said, that positioning of where his hand was, where the hoodie was, it was already down. His arm was slacked. He, in my opinion, he made it an effort to raise that weapon and keep it up. That did not look like a handing it to the officer. He made the effort to put that up and kind of pick up his hobble, I guess.
Well, what about mental illness? Do we think mental illness could be in play here? Did the officers even take that into account?
It's a possibility. However, I don't, in my opinion, that's a hard thing to determine. Because you don't really have that time to stop, especially if, you're taking that effort to say, hey, let's move to the side, let's be safe. And he's coming towards you. But it did, like I said, it looked like it was a concerted effort to hide it under his hoodie and lift it when he thought he had the opportunity. And yes, there might be mental health issues, but at the same time, that's kind of like a split kind of second decision, in my opinion.
I mean, I also agree with that. That's like saying, hey, I have a mental illness, so let me off the hook with killing somebody. That's not the way the world works. The officer feared for his life. No bill, in my opinion.
And also, too, contrary to a lot of people's belief, officers are not therapists. I know people like to thrust that upon them. But in those kind of situations, they can't really take the time to sit and kind of know their life story to kind of see where their mental health is at.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering where their patrol social worker was, and why they didn't use sleepy gas. Just kidding. I'm going no bill.
That's a objection. First objection in the grand jury. I have to object to Doc's comment on the sleeping gas. That was funny, but
Y'all are gonna hate me.
What do you think, Moon Goddess?
I think they could have used less lethal. I think maybe it was excessive force because the guy was limping. They had plenty of time to pull out the taser rather than the actual gun. I think they should have used less lethal.
Choose Liberty, brother. Mute up.
All right. I'm back.
Hang on. We're in the middle of Moon Goddess.
Oh, sorry.
I'll come to you in just a second. Go ahead, Moon Goddess. Finish up.
Well, I just think they should have used the taser and not the gun.
What's the legal standard?
I'm leaning towards Bill.
What's the legal standard? Because I'm just going to say this. You vote however you want to vote, but we don't really want our jurors to come in there and say, you know what, I feel this way on this one, and I feel a different way on another one. We're asking for a standard, and the standard here that we're judging the officer or the person that uses force is that would a reasonable person believe they needed to use deadly force because deadly force was being presented to them?
I don't believe that there should have been deadly force. The guy was limping. If he hadn't been injured and he wasn't limping and he did that, then I would say no bill. But he was injured. The officer had plenty of time to run away from him. I think that he could have pulled out the taser and tased him. So
Okay.
I just think that with the timing with the guy's injury, I think that.
But
Leslie
Moon,
could've
here's
been
where I'm going to
wrong.
go with that if you don't mind. Tasers are not always effective. Keep that in mind, you. Tasers do not always bring people to the ground. And what happens if the officer tries to tase him? He actually gets the jolts in, he tases him, and the guy doesn't fall to the ground and he still charges. Then the officer is unalive.
There was 2 officers there. The other one could have shot him then. But to shoot him right off the bat and not even try, that's where my issue is.
Yeah, you might be kind of convincing me. Quick question for Jason. What's the protocol for taser
Jason
use?
can't answer that.
Oh.
Yeah, let me host, Tyler. Go ahead and ask your question.
I was just curious, what's the protocol for taser use? Because they didn't announce anything. They just said, hey, come over here, let's get you off the highway. But they didn't announce taser. They didn't announce weapon. They didn't really announce anything.
Well, is the legal standard that they have to?
That's a good point.
Because look, guys, you guys are coming in. Well, I want to know what the policy is. I'm not saying that we'll watch videos where an officer may do something to get themselves fired. What we're looking at is the use of force only. Honestly, it's the only way that I could present these. I don't have the time to go back and research all the back end evidence on these to try to put together some sort of a policy trial for each one of these instances. It's way too much. So we're just looking at the use of force, and the standard is: would a reasonable person in that officer's position, with the information that was available to him at the time, would a reasonable person believe that their life was in danger when he pulled the trigger? That's really the question.
My answer to that question is no. I don't think that he was in fear for his life because he was able to run away from the guy.
So you don't think it would be if the guy said to you, Moon, when you talked to him right after this happens, like, man, what happens? Like, man, I thought that dude was going to stab me. Would you say that's bullshit, or would you think it's reasonable that you would believe that? You would, okay.
The guy was limping. He wasn't able to.
I got you. Hang on. Let's pause for a second, Moon Goddess. Go ahead, choose.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess I think the bottom line is he used proportional level of force because the guy charged at him and he literally raised his hand with the scissors or the knife or whatever it was. He raised his hand, and maybe we could look at it again, but we don't have time. It looked like he actually swiped at him on the body cam. It looked like he raised his hand and then he lowered it like in a swiping, like stabbing motion if he had the scissors like to stab him. So even though he was hobbled, it looked like he still was trying to use deadly force himself. So, deadly force is deadly force.
So you're leaning towards no bill?
Yeah, because
I think
all right, guys.
He was trying to stab him. So
I got you. Let me get to Doc. We're down to 1 minute and 41 seconds on this deliberation. Doc, what's your vote on this?
Okay, I'll be real quick. There's, when in doubt, take away the badge. Say this guy wasn't on the freeway, but in your yard. Okay, are you required to retreat? Are you required to run away if somebody's coming at you with a weapon? No, you're not. This is pretty clear-cut self-defense.
I think also too, and Moon Goddess, I might have leaned towards you had it not been for the third 911 call where they confirmed that there was some sort of weapon in the hand. I think with all the calls talking about just a guy hobbling, then yes. But then once they had that information, I think that's what made me think that it was justified that they had that force.
Well, remember the initial call was possible burglary.
Yes, but no one mentioned a weapon. So I think she said that he was in the house and then he left. So it could have just been a crazy dude that wandered in the house, saw her, got spooked. But to me, after the third person said that he had some sort of weapon in his hand, scissors, I think she said, I think that's what maybe might have escalated the reasonable force.
I'm gonna say no, Bill, but I don't like it. I think that the officer, I'm sorry, but if I was that officer, I wouldn't be scared. The guy's hobbling. Okay, even if he had scissors and tried to swipe at me, I'm able to move around and maneuver that he's not going to get me. I'm not scared for my life.
Okay, now, folks, that's let's take our clock down. Let's get a vote. Moon Goddess, you're a no bill, but sad about it. Basic, you're No bill?
I'm no bill. I mean, there's also an opportunity to where that person could have been faking the extent of his injuries, so there's no way the cop could have determined anything like that.
So you believe the force used was reasonable.
Yes.
Doc J.
Yep, don't like it, but no bill all day.
Choose, are you still a no bill? Maybe sad a little bit, but no bill?
I wouldn't say I'm sad. He tried to stab him. That's a no bill.
Very well. Tyler, you still in your original choice of no bill?
Absolutely, Joe. No bill.
Let's post a verdict there, Big Ron. That's right, no bill. We've gotten every case so far tonight, no bill. But this one was a laughable, awful. We'll give that to Moon Goddess. Let's talk about some Judge Joe Brown barbecue sauce before we get to our next video.
Introducing Judge Joe Brown's all-new barbecue sauce and seasoning. Justice in the form of flavor. With one taste of our premium blends of all-natural ingredients, herbs, and spices, you'll fall in love with meat all over again. Judge Joe Brown's all-natural barbecue sauce collection is made up of 2 zesty flavors, original and spicy.
Law firms will take this as a retainer.
What? It must be a law firm where they hungry as hell. Now you gonna help me with this parole I'm dealing with?
Folks, Judge Joe Brown, not only he's been a guest prosecutor right here on the grand jury, but he also has a barbecue sauce line, and I'm going to tell you it's pretty good. Bruce Wayne has ordered some. I've ordered some. I hadn't gotten here yet, but it's got a real coarse grind to it with the ingredients that are inside. Hangs real well, and I think it comes, the set you buy comes in 4 bottles, but you can find it on Amazon or jbbq.com, jbbq.com. Give it a try and let us know how you like it. I think we're going to do a smoke show episode with some of the Judge Joe Brown barbecue sauces. But with that, Big Ron, let's get on to our next case.
Hey, turn over. Hey, what's in your hand? Get the fuck up. Hey, he's got a knife. 424 Mary 998. Mary 998.
Here is a photograph of the knife which was recovered on scene.
Folks, that is your case. It's a short one. To be clear, the person on the bike was stopped riding a bicycle on a public roadway without lights, didn't have a headlight or a tail light. And when they get out to make contact with him, he runs. The passengers, it was a unit running 2 officers, a driver and a passenger. Passenger pursues, gets into a scuffle on the ground. The second officer who's providing cover sees a knife, and that's when the initial officer backs off, and the first officer shoots. And the suspect dies of injuries on this. But any parts of this video we'd like to see again, or any questions we might have?
Yeah, if we can play the first part of the video, the first body cam.
Hey, turn over. Hey, what's in your hand? Get the fuck up. Hey, he's got a knife. What's in your hand? Get the fuck up. Hey, he's got a knife. Turn over. Hey, what's in your hand? Get the fuck up. Hey, he's got a knife.
To the initial, where he shows him initially before he throws the bike down. Yeah, right there. Does he have it in his hand right there? It looks like he has it in his hand.
When you say it, what are you talking about?
The knife.
Yeah, I see it. He definitely has it in his hand.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Hey, turn over. Hey, what's in your...
He's got the jacket in one hand, the knife in the other.
Yep.
Or the red thing, whatever the red thing is.
Hey, turn over. Hey, what's in your hand? Hey, he's got a knife.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
Okay. Any questions or any other portions of the video we'd like to see?
I don't understand why the officer didn't see the knife right off the bat.
Are you deliberating now?
No other questions.
Let's get a clock up. All right, Moon Goddess. Now go ahead and say why you don't think the officer should have seen it first, and what difference that would have made.
Well, I'm just saying, I seen it right at the initial contact. I'm surprised the officer didn't see it, but it's a no bill for me.
And I don't know that it was in his hand. We may be seeing some sort of, as Chu said earlier, an artifact in the video, or some shadow. Because when they're on the ground fighting, I can't see both of his hands at once, but I see each one of his hands with open palms. So I don't know if he retrieved the knife during the fight, but I don't know that it was in his hand when he ran. He did have a red bandana or some type of article of clothing in his hand, but I don't know that he had a knife.
It looked like he had the article, the red thing in one hand, and the knife in the other when he was running away.
When they're fighting, if both hands, if I could tell you, I see both hands with palms open, that means he would have dropped that knife at some point and then regained it.
Possibly, I don't know.
He could have thrown it and the officer just shot him anyway.
Yeah, it could have been, but from what I'm seeing, I still say no bill.
Okay, Doc, what do you think, sir?
I'm gonna go no bill with a reminder that there is no law so trivial you can't be killed in its enforcement. I mean, the stop was for no lights on a bicycle, just about the same level as jaywalking. So bear that in mind when you ask for more laws. But no bill.
It's exactly the same level as jaywalking. It's exactly the same level. Choose liberty.
Yeah, I think to me what it looked like happened was he had the knife when he was running. I think he dropped it when he got tackled. And I think he picked it up as he was trying to get up. So that's kind of what it looked like to me. And again, if you have a knife and you're getting tackled and you're resisting while you're getting tackled, that's pretty straightforward to me, because at any moment you could slash and lash out with a knife, and that's deadly force.
Okay, Tyler.
Absolutely, Joe. So I'm gonna go with a bill on this one, because of the sole fact that the officer had him on the ground and he let up. That if that officer thought he had something in his hand, why did he let him off the ground? That makes no sense to me. You had the guy right there on the ground. You had the opportunity to get him in cuffs. You chose not to do it and let him get back up just to shoot him. That's a bill.
Yeah, but the other officer said, he has a knife, he has a knife. So
right, but both officers had him on the ground at one point. Both officers were on top of him at one point.
I don't think so. I think one of them tackled and the other one said he has a knife, so the one that tackled him got off.
Right, but you had him tackled. You had your hands on his arm.
Was the video that clear, though?
It was.
It was, but I'd remind you that, like I say, a knife can do an awful lot of damage real quick in close quarters.
Right, but when the officer had his arm under control?
Control is kind of relative.
Look, right there on the ground, both hands behind his back. He could do no harm at that point. You should have cuffed him.
He's literally on his back. He's not on his stomach where you're in a handcuff position.
Wait, let me see that again.
And it looks to me like both his arms are free at that point.
Right, but both officers had him right there. Why let him up?
All right. Do they have control of his hands?
No.
They look like they're trying to gain control of his hands.
If he had a knife in one of those hands, is he? Do you think it's fair to think that I don't want to get cut with a knife, so I'm going to back away?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not going to stand there and let him stab me.
All right. Well, let's go. Tyler's got a bill on that, and I get his foundation on it. Basic. Do you side with Tyler or with Moon Goddess?
No, I don't side with Tyler. So I don't see the knife in the beginning. However, it's very easy from our standpoint to see what could have been, but you see nothing but a blur of hands and body floating around. At one point, he did tell him to turn around. When they noticed the knife, there's just hands going everywhere. So you see the knife, his hands are free. There is an opportunity to grab that knife. They are in such close quarters to him that there's no time to stop and assess. And while I understand and maybe empathize with Tyler's sentiments, you have hands free flailing around and you see a knife in such close quarters. That's when you're defending yourself. And I don't think the officer was wrong in that at all.
I don't see any daylight in your foundation there, so I'm going to leave it at a no bill. Any other questions, Tyler? Do you feel like you're swayable, or are you going to stand firm on your no bill? I'm sorry, your true bill.
I have to stand on my true bill for this one, and I know I'm going to get questions about this in the after party, but as I said, they had an opportunity to grab that. They had an opportunity to hand him on the ground. You had two guys right there that could have gotten that job done, and they let him up. So if they would have finished off the job and got him cuffed, that never would have happened, and I feel like the force was a bit excessive here.
Do you think that possibly if you were in that scenario, the point of view that you have right now is what's swaying you to the bill versus the point of view that you would have had as the officer? Because you will not have the view that you have from that camera if you are the officer in that scenario.
Oh, absolutely. I'm putting myself in that officer's shoes, and that's exactly what I'm doing here. If I was that officer,
right?
Like,
But I'm
I
saying
already-
the viewpoint, like they don't have the viewpoint of the camera like we do. So you have just your eyes looking at that tussle of limbs and then a gleam of a knife.
Let me ask you this, Tyler. If you're in that situation and you have somebody that's on the ground with a knife in their hand, are you going to reach for that knife or are you going to reach for that hand?
Right, but
Like
was the
that?
knife actually in his hand on the ground? Do we see the knife in his hand on the ground?
The knife is
believe
out
so,
and his
yeah.
hands are free. So you're in that close quarters. It just takes that grab and a lift up.
Right, but the knife was not in his hand, so at that point he didn't pose a threat.
But his hands were free. So there is
His
an
hands were
opportunity to
free.
grab
He
that
get the
weapon.
knife.
The knife was
They
not
don't
in his
defend
hand though.
him completely.
But the
He was
knife
struck
was not in his hand, and because the knife was not in his hand, you're gonna shoot a guy just for standing up. No, absolutely
No,
not.
the
You
knife
can't
was in his
assume
hand when he
intent.
started shooting. Yes.
I mean, I would challenge that you could assume intent. I mean, he's got the knife. He's fighting. He's
I mean, but he
resisting.
didn't have the knife in his hand though. That's the thing.
Are you sure?
But they also can't guarantee that he's not going to gain hold of it. They could not. You said it yourself, two of them, they could not keep him down. So there's no guarantee. So at that point, that is sufficient defense.
Tyler,
I
you
don't
said-
think it was defense because the guy was unarmed.
Tyler,
Joe,
you
did the
said
guy have the knife in his hand when the officer shot him?
Yeah, can you rewind that one more time just so I can see if the guy actually had that in his hand to try to decipher that?
All right. It's going to be difficult because they got blurs on it. Let me see what I can get.
Yeah, look, both hands are flat on the ground right there. He has no knife
he's got
in
the
his
knife.
hand.
If you go back
He's
a
got the
couple of
knife.
frames, he's got the knife in his hand. You can see it flash with the flashlight.
Yes, yeah. You
He's
see
got
that
the knife in his
reflection.
hand.
And even if let's just say in a scenario that he doesn't have that knife, his hand is right there, the glare is right there. Again, the viewpoint of the officer
Again,
versus-
but that was already after he got tackled, though.
Right, but I'm saying the viewpoint of the officers versus the viewpoint of us having the luxury to pause, rewind, and clarify, they don't have that time to stop and pause. So if they see the hand and the gleam of the knife right there, that's a split-second decision.
Tyler, you said that they had the
20 foot-
opportunity. Hold on, you said they had the opportunity to cuff him, right? Is that what you said before?
Yeah,
But
well,
they
yeah,
didn't?
because if you rewind that
So,
more than you already are, you had two officers
Okay.
on him. You had the opportunity to do it when he had nothing in his hands. Why'd you let him up?
Yeah, but by that logic, he had the opportunity to throw the knife away and not have the knife in his hands too. So there you go.
The knife has a white handle on it. Watch it. You can't. I think the blur's got it. It's got to be in his hand because it's after he's shot. You're going to see the knife, the white handle, fall to the ground when it gets there. See it there in the picture,
Yep.
and it's going to remain there. So the knife falls, I'm assuming, from his hands. But let's go back to where you're talking about we have so much time to handcuff him. I want you to start counting. Start counting 1001 till I stop the video, just like you would count seconds. How many seconds did you get, Tyler?
14.
That's all the time they had to react and make a decision. That's from door opening to first shot fired, 14 seconds.
Yeah, and they only had about 3 seconds when they were tussling with him on the ground to try and cuff him. That was only about 3 seconds.
Plus, he was fighting the whole time.
Still, but fighting does not justify deadly force.
How about where it's frozen there?
That's not where the deadly force came in. They were trying to handcuff him.
Listen,
You can see it right there.
listen. Can you see the knife in his right hand there? This is when the officer says, "What's in your hand?" and backs up. Do you see?
Right.
Do you see the knife in his hand?
Yes, sir.
Does that hand look like there's some control over that? That any officer has control, positive control over that hand or knife?
No officer has control over it, and he has control over it at that point. But again, that was after he had already been tackled.
They got off of him because he got a knife in his hand.
At that point, I might have to be swayed into no true bill. I thought he didn't have the knife in his hand when they tackled him.
Well, we were at that point where I need a decision. So I'm going to give you a second to stew on it, Tyler. I'll go to everyone else first. Basic Beach, no bill.
No bill. No bill.
No
at
bill,
all.
check. Moon Goddess, no bill.
No bill.
No bill, check. Doc J, no bill.
Yeah, I've been in a similar situation and gotten stabbed. No bill.
No bill. Choose Liberty. Are you still maintaining 10 toes down on a no bill?
Guilty. I mean, no bill.
Boy, this guy's ready to hang somebody. We do that in the spaces afterwards in the after party. We get a little rougher there, but here we're just going to send them on to trial or let them be. And I think that's what you decided. Let them be. Doc. Well, I'm sorry, Doc, you've already there. Tyler, have you come to a decision?
I have no bill, Joe. As you said, the knife was in his hand when he was on the ground. I thought the knife was not in his hand, which is why I said bill. But again, given the fact that the knife was in the dude's hand, that justifies deadly force for me. That's a bill, or that's a no bill. I'm sorry.
All right, Big Ron, let's post it up there. No bill.
Yay! Good job, Tyler.
Where are we at on time? It is time. Talk about Jason. Talk about Jason's not only 30 years in law enforcement, Jason's last 10 plus years in developing the 3D response system. Big Ron, let's show these folks what 3D response is.
Law enforcement is on the way. see you entering, take a right. You're going to proceed down the long hall, all the way to the end. You're going to go till the end where you're intersect to the classrooms. Keep going, I see you moving forward. Subject is held up in classroom 203.
Law enforcement is on the way. Law enforcement is on the way.
Yes, folks, that's a 3D Response school safety system. It's a complete, comprehensive, layered system that should be in every one of our schools in case some maniac decides they think that's a good idea to go in there and harm them. It'll protect our children, isolate them from the violence, and it also comes with protocols for the schools to help maybe identify an aftercare if the crazy event were to happen in their school. But Jason, you want to give a quick word on this this system that you and your people have been developing over the last 10 years?
Yeah, the whole system looks at the stakeholders, which are the children, the teachers, and the police officers. And the one thing missing is cover, concealment, communication. And we will look at a building and we will provide the stakeholders, the innocent, with the tools to respond right now. That answers the question of now what. And you can take a school of 2,200 kids and empower the teachers to take their building back. And every person in that building is provided cover, concealment, and communications within 60 seconds, and police are on the way. Recently, this past week up in our state, I gave a bunch of tours to senators and state reps, and they were actually speaking my terms at the last gun control debate they had on Wednesday and Thursday. And a lot of good progress going on at the legislation level in Minnesota to make it a building code.
Yeah, I'm going to say there's a push in Minnesota to make it a building code like they did with the fire code. I think this is brilliant. I think every state should do exactly that. In fact, it's shameful we don't have something. We have something in case our school catches on fire, so our children don't burn. So no, it's a great system, folks. If you haven't take 15 minutes, go to the 3D Response system, watch the videos, do a little bit of reading, give Jason a follow on X. He's always in spaces talking about it and on podcast, explaining what the system is. And I get it. It's not as simple as what a microwave dinner is, so you understand what it is in its totality in 20 seconds, and then you can move on about your life and understand whether you like it or you don't. It does take a little time. It's a lot going on with this system, but altogether, this system works. Altogether, if this was in every one of our schools, school shootings would be a thing of the past. There would be no reason to go there. They're just going to isolate you in a hallway, and law enforcement's going to come kill you. That's going to be the story of the day with 3D Response versus the story that we have with some of these horrible incidences that are just heartbreaking. But with that, folks, 3D Response, it's www.3dresponse.com. Check it out. Let's get on to our second to the last case, I believe. Am I right, Big Ron? Are we case 5 now?
Yep, we're on schedule.
Well, look at that.
At 7:20 a.m., IMPD East District officers were dispatched to the 4800 block of North Ritter Avenue on a report of a person shot. When officers arrived, they located a woman who had been shot. The victim was transported to the hospital where she later died. Detectives determined the incident stemmed from a domestic disturbance. Officers on scene relayed a description of the suspect and the vehicle he used to flee the area. Just before 8 a.m., IMPD North District officers located 76-year-old Walter McNary driving the vehicle described by the officer on Ritter Avenue in the 3300 block of Boulevard Place. Officers followed Mr. McNary onto West 30th Street. They activated their emergency lights, he refused to stop, and a pursuit was initiated. Mr. McNary turned onto West 29th Street, stopped, and fired at Officer Robinson. At the next intersection, Mr. McNary fired at officer number 1 who was driving south on East Riverside Drive. Mr. McNary drove down an alley and came to a stop at West Congress Avenue. Mr. McNary fired at least 2 shots at officer number 2 who was driving west on Congress Avenue.
Congress is coming right at me. Congress, we are 1400 block. He's coming right at me. 1400 block East Congress. Crossfire. Crossfire.
At Clifton Street and West Congress Avenue, Mr. McNary slowed and fired at officers. Officer Robinson stopped, opened his door, and fired his patrol rifle. The pursuit ended when Mr. McNary pulled onto a property and got out of his vehicle. Mr. McNary exited his vehicle and moved out of sight. Moments later, he emerged from behind a wall and pointed a firearm at Officer Robinson. Officer Robinson discharged his patrol rifle.
Police, show me your hands!
Officer Robinson exited his vehicle and took cover near the front passenger side door. He fired one round from his patrol rifle after Mr. McNary pointed a firearm in his direction.
Car stop behind the house. Police, show me your hands!
SWAT used a bulletproof vehicle to approach Mr. McNary, who did not respond to commands while his firearm remained within reach. After a flashbang was deployed with no response, SWAT officers moved in and took Mr. McNary into custody.
Yep.
33 DC the vehicle from there.
We've got
We're deploying bang. SWAT deploying bang.
good, bang out.
One negative.
Bang out!
We kind of see people moving around. So you gotta...
No reaction.
Hold traffic. Hold traffic.
No reaction.
Cars, hold
You
traffic.
guys good with moving up, taking it? Yes. All right. I'm going to tail behind you guys and take it.
All right, folks. That's going to be your last case. Let me see if I can get this thing on a short screen. There we go.
I'm going to have to say no, Bill. The minute he started firing at the first officer.
All right, we're not in deliberations yet. We're just not there yet. We're in questions. You have any questions, Moon?
No, no questions.
Sounds like you've got your mind made up. But does anybody have any questions, any portion of the video they would like to see again?
No.
Yeah, this guy's 76 years old, man. He's an old dude running on the police like that.
Doesn't matter.
All right, let's throw a clock up, Big Ron. Tell us why it doesn't matter, Moon Goddess.
Because he was shooting. There was a threat to the cops. It was a threat to innocent bystanders. Yeah, it cut and dried. No bill.
They didn't say anything. They didn't talk to him. They didn't say, hey, drop your weapon. They didn't warn him at all.
He stopped all that. He shut that down the minute he stopped and shot at the officer.
Okay. Choose liberty. How do you see it?
It's like, okay, so it's like if you're playing GTA and you shoot at a cop, you instantly get a 5-star wanted level. This is pretty cut and dry. He was playing real life GTA. He said, you know what? I'm 76. I'm going to go out with a bang. And he took him on a chase and shot at multiple cops multiple times. Yeah, he's screwed.
I agree. Grand Theft Auto in real life.
What'd you call it? Five-star? 5-star wanted?
5-star wanted level.
Yeah, he achieved that. I think that he definitely got law enforcement's attention. Tyler, how do you see it?
Tyler's in shock. He's speechless.
I don't know what to say.
No, right. Basic. What do you think?
The second there's a fatality, it's going to be definitely a higher priority and a higher, kind of keeping on guard. But while they were chasing, I mean, he immediately drew his weapon and fired. He did it multiple times. He's lucky he didn't get shot and killed then. But he made it very clear multiple times, even though he didn't need to, the one time was enough, that there was no room for, stop, put your hand. He's just shot first and never asked questions. The fact that he lasted that long was astonishing to me.
Fair enough. Doc.
I'm refraining from the comment I want to make because it was already objected to. No, this is a straight up no, Bill. This guy is popping off rounds through a pretty crowded residential neighborhood. He's firing at cops. He's Yeah, probably already committed one murder. I don't think there's any question of his intent. No bill for me.
Fair enough. Tyler,
Yeah,
you back with us? Tyler may be having some connection issues. Go ahead, Choose. You were going to say something?
Yeah, and he was speeding, driving recklessly. He was trying to, when the cop was backing up, he was trying to ram the cop when in his car, but the cop smartly, because he knew he had a gun, was backing up to get out of the way because he didn't want to get shot. Yeah, his intent was clear.
I think he was actually trying to pull him clear of the bystanders on the street that he'd passed a second before.
Yeah.
Trying to lure him out.
All right, tell you what, rather than beating a dead horse with a stick, let's go to a vote. Let's go ahead and pull the clock down. Moon Goddess, you're no bill. Is that correct?
Yep. Suicide by cop. That was his whole thought.
Basic, you feel the force was justified.
Oh yeah, that's a hell no bill.
Doc, justified still?
Yep, no bill.
Choose Liberty. You still at justified?
I'm changing my mind. I'm throwing a wrench into this whole. No, I'm just kidding. He's totally cut and dry.
Force reasonable. Tyler, are you back with us? Well, it's a majority vote that wins, so that's going to be another no bill clean sweep for the night. We have just a couple of minutes before we get out of here. I'm going to play this 6th video. We've got an after party going. We've got a companion space going. We'll have an after party. Give us about 10 minutes. All of our jurors and all of our hosts will be in there to discuss some of these cases. We'll discuss this one if I can get it pulled off here before the time runs out.
Police, you're under arrest! Open the driver door now! You're under arrest. Exit the vehicle now. Okay, let's get a 40 up. Get a 40 up. He's saying kill him. You do not comply. You're under arrest. Exit the vehicle now. He's trying to drive. Rachel, 40 is loaded in the back. We want a peaceful surrender. You're good. Hey, Sam. Driving. He's got a gun. I believe it was the barrel of a gun I saw in that mirror. Get some gas in that car. All right, you're under arrest. Put your hands out. Put your hands out. Turn around. Police, you're under arrest. Open the driver door now! I am about a 40. Okay, let's get a 40 up. Got it?
Yep.
Got it?
Okay.
Get a 40 up. He's saying kill him. He's trying to drive. Rachel, 40 is loaded in the back.
Yep.
want a peaceful
Juan,
surrender.
put your car in park. I'm going to put mine in drive and keep pressure on him.
All right, 40, 40, 40. Yeah, you're good, you're good. Hey, Seth. Driving.
Ready?
Yep.
He's got a gun.
He's got a gun.
He's got a gun.
He's got a gun. Door's partially open.
I believe it was the barrel of a gun I saw in that mirror.
Oh, so
Get
you
some
ready?
gas in that car.
Putting gas in.
All right. Hey, hold up, hold up.
Stop. Stay right there.
Put your hands up.
Logan, stay right there.
Put your hands up.
We'll see you in the after party. We'll discuss it. See you on X in the after party. If you want a personal invite, shoot me a DM. I'll get you one. Give us about 20 minutes fresh drink and stretch our legs.
An incarcerated individual's use of institutional telephones constitutes consent, and your calls may be provided to law enforcement agencies. Thank you for using Securus.